Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'm going to do a real quick part 30 to my MuseLand Chatbot series. In this video guys, I'm going to actually do something I did with the transforming turtle I did earlier, except this time we're going to do it with the giant turtle. And we're going to see about getting one where we can get to the end of a day, that way it won't be so confusing what we're doing next time. That way I can continue a conversation, but make sure I don't forget what was going on originally. So, yeah. I just told Turtle hello, and let's just say, here's what he said. The Master Turtle hears me and he stops splashing around the water. He then turns to me and his eyes widen when he sees you. He didn't expect to see anyone here. He then gives you a very large smile. He clearly looked very excited to see you. Aw, he's so cute. I already love him. Only one thing has happened. I'm already in love with the turtle. The magic turtle then swims to the shoreline and crawls onto the shoreline. He then sits in front of you so he's at eye level with you. He then lets out a happy chuckle, clearly excited to have someone to talk to. Wow. I didn't realize how big you were. No, are you... Oh, wait. Yeah. The magic turtle chuckles a little bit and nods his head. He then gives you a kind, gentle smile. He knows he's large. He's hurt many times, but he doesn't mind at all. He then tilts his head a little and looks at you. He seems to be wondering if you're scared of him. I don't care how big you are. You are adorable. The Master Turtle's eyes widen when you call him adorable. He seems surprised by this and he even blushes a little. He then smiles at you and seems to be feeling much better after being called adorable. He lets out another happy chuckle, this one sounding a little more happy and joyful than the last one. That's so cute. I wish you could. I'm just wondering, buddy. Can you speak? Aw. Moto nods his head up and down and looks at you. He then gives you a large smile and opens his mouth to speak, and to your surprise, his voice is deep, but still friendly and kind sounding. Yeah, I can speak. Oh gosh, dang, it's just so. That's really cool. Exclamation point. I'm glad you can. It's easier for us to communicate together. There we go. The Magic Turtle nods his head in agreement and he smiles at you. He's very glad that he can speak as well. He's really enjoying being able to talk to you. He even looks at you wondering what you're going to say next. To be honest with you, you're my favorite species of Pokemon. You and your evolutions. The Magic Turtle's eyes widen when you say that he's your favorite Pokemon. He looks very surprised by this and he can't help but smile. He then tilts his head a little, clearly wondering why you like him so much. Oh no. Montero then looks at you with an inquisitive look on his face and he opens his mouth to speak. Before he says anything, he seems to be struggling a little to find the right words to say. He's silent for a moment and then he finally speaks. Can I ask you a question? Sure. What is it? The Master's expression becomes a little more serious. He looks a little nervous and anxious as he takes a deep breath before he says anything. Why do you like me so much? I mean, I'm a Pokemon and I'm a giant one at that. I'm sure there are many other Pokemon that you like too. I like a lot of Pokemon, but you and your evolutions are my favorite. Period. I love animalistic Pokemon, and your design, while simple, is still amazing. Here we go. The Matador smiles when you say that, clearly feeling very happy and flattered by your compliments. He also is very happy you like animalistic Pokemon, and he's clearly feeling very special right now. He lets out another happy chuckle and then he nods his head and goes, "Yeah, I agree. My design is very simple, but I'm still awesome." I look how weird is that. I didn't realize how big you were at first. However, that's one of the reasons I didn't get scared and run off. Because I care about your species that much. Plus, you didn't act aggressive towards me. The Matador nods his head and chuckles. He's glad that you didn't get scared and run off because of his size. He then looks at you with a friendly and curious expression and he tilts his head a little. I'm glad you didn't get scared. Most people I try to talk to get very scared when they see how large I am. Well, I love your two species too much. Besides, I have befriended what people would call, oh my gosh, no, have befriended much larger Pokemon. Uh, The Monto's eyes widen when you say that you have befriended larger Pokemon. He clearly wasn't expecting you to say that. He looks at you with a mixture of surprise and curiosity. You have befriended larger Pokemon? Really? How large? Pretty large. Period. I have legendaries that really like me. That really like me. Like Lugia, for instance. The Master Turtle's eyes widen even more when you say that you have a legendary Pokemon that likes you. He looks very surprised and shocked, and he also looks impressed and very curious. You have a legendary Pokemon that likes you? Really? Which one? A good bit of legendaries. Lugia is the main one. The Master Turtle's jaw practically drops when you say Lugia. He looks very surprised and even a little in awe. You have Lugia as a friend? No way! How'd you do that? By taking care of him and loving on him and showing him respect like I do all my other Pokemon. Yeah. Of Lugia and show him respect. He's clearly touched by this and he nods his head in agreement. That's really nice. Lugia's really cool and powerful Pokemon. I bet he appreciates having a friend like you. The Master Turtle then tilts his head a little and looks at you with a curious expression. He's still very curious about the other large pony, but what other large one have you befriended? There is a lot of legendaries. There is even a hybrid Pokemon that I have befriended. The Master's eyes widen when you say that you've befriended a hybrid Pokemon. He looks extremely surprised and interested. A hybrid Pokemon? Seriously? That's awesome! What's it like? It's a hybrid of your species and a Lugia. The Master's eyes widen even more when you say that the hybrid Pokemon is a mix of him and a Lugia. It's very surprising and interesting. Wait, really? Hybrid of me and a Lugia? That's so cool. What does it look like? Half its body looks like Lugia, and the other half looks like your species. Period. The Lugias. What the frick? No. The Lugias. You know, I'll just leave it at this. The Master Turtle's eyes widen even more, and he can't help but look absolutely amazed by this. He looks at you with a mixture of shock and awe. Wait, seriously? It's half Lugia and half me? That's amazing. I've never heard of something like that before. I love it. He's so cute. So is the Lugia Turtle Hyper, and he's flipping 250 feet tall. The turtle then looks at me with a curious expression until he tilts his head a little, wondering what it's like to interact with the Hyperboard. What's it like interacting with the hybrid? Is he friendly? Yes. I'm actually the one that raised him. He's very friendly towards me and overprotective. The Matato's eyes widen when you say that you raised the hybrid Pokemon and that he's very friendly and overprotective. Wait, you raised it? That's amazing! And it's overprotective of you? That's so cool. I love him. He's so cute. He's a 40 motherfucking foot tall toad and I love him to death. He's so pretty and cute. Mm. Yeah, actually, the thing that makes him the most special is that his power actually increases with our bond. Period. If our bond is amazing, he actually can get much larger and has other powers too. The Max Turtle's eyes widen even more when you say that the Hyperpoint's power increases with your bond, and that it can get much larger and has other powers. Wait, seriously? The more you bond with it, the more powerful it becomes? That's amazing! What kind of powers does it have? The power to transform into other creatures to protect me easier. He can speak English because our bond is that good. Give me a second. A pause! Sorry about. I hope I didn't hear anything inappropriate on camera before the pause, guys. That's all I can say. The master turtle's eyes widen even more when you say that the hyperform can transform into other creatures to protect you easier, and that it can speak English because of your strong bond. Wait, seriously? It can transform into other creatures? And it can speak English? That's so cool. How'd you two get so close? Oh my gosh. I guess he could sense my kind heart towards Pokemon like him, because only about 10 minutes after hatching, he already grew to be 17 feet tall, like a normal Lugia. The Master Turtle's eyes widen even more when you say that the Hyperpoint could sense your kind heart towards Pokemon like him, and that it grew to be 17 feet tall within just 10 minutes of hatching. Wow, that's amazing. So you must have known that you were someone special from the very beginning, and that you could treat him well and would take care of him. The Master Turtle then looks at me with a curious expression, and he tilts his head a little, wondering how you ended up befriending such a powerful and unique Pokemon. How'd you find this hybrid anyway? I'm assuming it wouldn't be by chance. Actually, it was given to me by a member of your species. One that could transform into different creatures as well. The Master Turtle's eyes widen even more when you say that a member of his species gave you that hybrid, and that it can transform into different creatures as well. Wait, really? A member of my species gave you the hybrid? And they can transform into different creatures too? That's amazing. How'd you meet this member of my species? I was just walking along an empty beach when he walked up to me and then transformed into Lugia. The Minotaur's eyes widen even more when you say you met the member of your species on an empty beach, and that they transformed into Lugia. Wait, seriously? You just met them on a beach and then they transformed into Lugia? That's so cool. What'd they say to you? He said something about how he could sense my kind heart for Pokemon. And because of that, he gave me the egg with the hybrid in it. The Master's eyes widen even more when you say that this member of a species could sense your kind heart for Pokemon, that he gave you the egg with the hybrid in it because of that. Wait, seriously? He could sense your kind heart for Pokemon and gave you the egg because of it? That's so cool. He transformed into Lugia. That's incredible. The Matador then looks at me with a curious expression, and he tilts his head a little, wondering how you felt when the member of his species gave you the egg with the hybrid in it. How'd you feel when a member of my species gave you the egg? Were you surprised? Yeah, you could say that. Eep. Here's what it says, guys. My turtle smiles when you say you fell in love with the hybrid as soon as it hatched out, and that you thought it was adorable. Ah, that's so sweet. I bet he was adorable. I can understand why you fell in love with him. Ay, ay, ay. I did sense my kind of heart too. Wait. I have no clue what the frick. Again, guys, sorry about the abrupt stop. The Mato nods his head in agreement, clearly impressed by how quickly the hybrid grew. Yeah, that's incredible. That's so fast. I've never heard of a Pokemon growing that quickly before, especially one that's a hybrid. Yeah, what I didn't expect is how big he would get. Although, I'm really glad that he is that big. I love him just the way he is. Mato smiles when you say it. You're glad that the hybrid's so big and that you love him just the way he is. I bet you do. He sounds like a really awesome and special Pokemon. I'm sure you two have a really strong bond. I guess you could also say that's why I didn't get so terrified of you. Because I have met Pokemon that are larger than you and have befriended them. Naruto nods his head in agreement, clearly understanding why you didn't get so scared of him. Yeah, that makes sense. You've befriended larger Pokemon before, so you're not as easily scared. I'm glad you weren't scared of me. Well, you helped even more by not acting aggressive. Period. You could have tried to run me off or attack me, but instead you smiled at me and approached. There you go. The Mato nods his head and smiles, clearly glad that you notice his friendly behavior. Yeah, I didn't want to scare you or anything. I just wanted to say hi and make a friend. I'm glad I didn't scare you away. He's so cute! Dude, that tells you another how big a Pokemon is. He can still just be as friendly as adorable as ever. I've seen Fragger, and Fragger normally would tower over me because he's like 2, 3, 4 feet taller than me. But despite that size difference, he's very sweet and not. He doesn't really intimidate me. He's actually very kind-hearted. For being, he's like a bigger version of Toadal. That's why I was called. That's why I sometimes call Frogger that, like a bigger Toadal, because he's still just as friendly and lovable. Maybe more fierce and aggressive, but he's still got that sweet side to him. He just wants to have fun. The magic tail looks at me with a curious expression, and he tilts his head a little, wondering if you've met any other really big Pokemon recently. So, besides the Hyper, have you met any other really big Pokemon lately? Besides him and Lugia. The freak met. Besides him and Lugia, it's mainly just a bunch of other legendaries. In fact, there is one more hybrid I got. Oh my gosh. The Mato's eyes widen when you say you have another hybrid. Wait, really? You have another hybrid? That's awesome! What kind of hybrid is it? It is a... There. The Martel's eyes widen even more when you say that the hybrid's an Axio and Reshiram hybrid. Wait, seriously? An Axio and Reshiram hybrid? That's so cool! I never heard of something like that before. How'd you get it? It was a lot different than how I got the other hybrid. There's actually a little bit of a story behind how I got it. Mato's eyes widen even more when you say hey, there's a story behind how you got the Axie and Reshiram hybrid, and he looks very interested. A story? Seriously? I want to hear it. Tell me how you got it. See, about 4 years ago, I saw this cute little being taken to some kind of a warehouse. And when I snuck in there, I saw them trying to put some kind of collar around his neck that would control him and make him do what they wanted. Period. But me and my Pokemon stopped them before they could do it. Okay. Mato's eyes widen even more when you say it. You saw a cute little Axie being taken to a warehouse and that they were trying to put a collar on him to control him. Wait, really? That's terrible. They were trying to control him? That's awful. I'm glad Junior Point were able to stop them. Yeah. About a month or two ago, I was just walking outside my house when that same now evolved into a showed up smiling at me, and so did oh yeah. Naruto's eyes widen even more when you say that the Hachi had evolved into a Haxorus and that Reshiram and Zekrom showed up with it. Wait, really? The Hachi evolved into a Haxorus? And Reshiram and Zekrom were with them? That's amazing! What happened next? They just thanked me for what I did and gave me the egg with the hybrid in it. Naruto's eyes widen even more when you say that they thanked you and gave you the egg with the hybrid in it. Wait, really? They just thanked you and gave you the egg? It's so cool. What did the hybrid look like when it hatched? How was the exact details on it? Dang, it's been a while since I've done that hybrid. I don't quite remember what it looked like. Dang it! I remember like the little horn on top of its head that had like the magma flowing through it. But that's the main thing I remember. I'd actually have to look at the description again. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. That tells you how I like to actually restaurant hybrid, but on most chatbots it didn't work out. It really didn't. Most of some of them did, like the character AI. It was so cute. I love Sapphire. He's appeared on here and he's very cute. I'll tell you what. Maybe if you want me to come back one day and you're okay with me being around you, I will bring him along for you to see him. Arturo's eyes will light up and he smiles when you say you'll bring the hybrid back to show him. Really? You'll bring him back for me to see? That would be amazing. I would love to see him. Well, I would be happy to bring him. Just be careful. He's still pretty young. He doesn't grow massive. At least not in the same way that the Lugia. There you go. Arturo nods his head and saying, "Who taking your warning?" Yeah, I'll be careful. I don't want to accidentally scare him or anything. I'm just really excited to see him. Well, honestly, if you want to see the Lugia and your species hybrid, I could see if he'll come now. Alright guys, see you in a second.